very top of European football.
It does. That's a fact, isn't it? As long as he steers clear of injury, and we don't know anything about that, of course, can be bad luck. He could get injured tonight, could get injured in the first game of La Liga season, but we don't want that to happen to him because I think, first and foremost, we're football fans. Whether we're new or not, whether we're Liverpool fans or Man City fans or Juventus fans, you want to see the best players on go. And Benzema is one of those players, that's for certain. I hope he stays fit, stays healthy, and of course has a season very similar to last.
And Real Madrid fashionably late to the arrival in the tunnel to come out on the field. And I guess when you're European champions, everybody will wait for you, right?
We have to wait for them, don't we? That's for certain. If we didn't wait for them, it wouldn't be much of a game, that's for certain. But Juventus, yes, they were there waiting, as they should be in the tunnel. But yeah, Real Madrid, all in purple at the moment, yeah, very, very late to the scene.
Well, in San Francisco on Tuesday night, there was a pretty even spread in terms of fan bases. Club America, massive following all over California. Tonight, I think it's safe to say, Juventus fans severely outnumbered. Real Madrid are the team in this region. The fans come out in force, and we're expecting a sellout 90,000 plus inside the Rose Bowl this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I was lucky enough to be in Dallas for Barcelona against Juventus, and similar to tonight, on that occasion, the only Juventus shirts in the Cotton Bowl were the ones on the field. There weren't any anywhere else. So yeah, very much a Barcelona-heavy crowd on that night in Dallas, and very much this evening a very Real Madrid-heavy crowd here today.
Leonardo Bonucci, the skipper now for Juventus, Giorgio Chiellini has, of course, moved on. He's actually playing in this city now at LAFC. His teammates went to support him last night. But for Real Madrid, they're just a couple of months removed from a Champions League win. And guess what? It's the same 11 tonight for Carlo Ancelotti. Lifted that title appearance.
And that's no surprise. You said they're 1 week further ahead, aren't they, than Juventus? Juventus still have another friendly to play. So no surprise that Real Madrid, this is the starting 11. This is the best 11 on show for Carlo Ancelotti and Real Madrid.
And if you're to believe some of the press recently, Militao and Vinicius Jr. about to tie the long-term futures to Real Madrid as well, with new long-term contracts expected to be announced when they get back to Spain. The other side of things for Juventus, a mix of youth and experience for them tonight. The big news, no Szczesny and goal. Perrin will step in. What else stands out for you in this lineup?
Well, for me, it's that pairing of Bonucci and Bremer. They paid an awful lot of money, nearly $50 million for Bremer from Torino. We know Torino's very au fait with Serie A, of course, having played for Torino. So this is a big pairing, and one as a former centre-half. I want to see how they're going to gel, Bremer and Bonucci.
Max Allegri, so much success in his first spell at Juventus. He did lose a Champions League final to Real Madrid. We'll talk a little bit more about that throughout tonight's matchup. But he's come back, and, well, they say you should never go back, and so far it's been difficult for Max Allegri to get Juventus back to the very pinnacle of Serie A.
I thoroughly agree. It's been really difficult. They've been 16 points behind Milan last season, 14 points behind Inter, even 9 points behind Napoli. That is so far from success for a team of the magnitude of Juventus that it's not even funny. And maybe Allegri will tell you, as hindsight, maybe he shouldn't have come back. I think this is a massive season for Allegri and Juventus Football Club.
On the other side of things, Carlo Ancelotti, a little over 12 months ago, was on Merseyside. He was the Everton manager after a mid-table finish, and all of a sudden, he's back at the very top of the game and managing Real Madrid to an historic double.
Well, what a massive fall from grace from Everton to Real Madrid and La Liga champions and Champions League champions as well. Yeah, who'd have thought it? Leave Everton Football Club, and that's what happens.
And match referee today is Michael Ranchuk. Real Madrid looks like they are going to kick things off. It's Canary who get to wear the black and white strip. They'll be attacking from left to right. Luka Modric, 36 years young and still going strong. He gets us underway. Real Madrid, the European champions in the final match of the summer tour, and immediately a ball in behind Valverde. Two inside the area, got it on! A goal inside the first 15 seconds with a flag.
10,000 fans still aren't inside this stadium. It's a great early ball, but it certainly looks offside. But Benzema doing what Benzema does best.
Incredible. It certainly wasn't the goal scorer. I think it was the ball before that where Valverde went in behind. Alaba, Casemiro. David Alaba, who's won 10 Bundesliga titles, comes across to Real Madrid and wins a La Liga title. All back for Thibaut Courtois, who was rested for that San Francisco matchup. And the young Ukrainian goalkeeper, Lucas Canizares, the son of Santi Canizares, the famous Spanish goalkeeper, both played. Because Canizares almost had a penalty save against Fidalgo as well, laid on in that one.
Untuk mata kamu, aku ada sesuatu buat kamu.
Militao. Cruz. All man wide. There's too much on the pass further forward. Ferland Mendy and Vinicius, who not the winning goal. Manny, I think it's safe to say with Vinicius, he's won over his teammates. There was times you could sense frustration from some of the veteran midfielders, but as the season went along, he became a lot more consistent, culminating in that all-important goal in Paris.
Yeah, I think so. I think he flattered to deceive at times early on in his Real Madrid career, but I agree, last season he really came of age. And as you say, it doesn't culminate any better than that, does it? In that winning goal in the Champions League final.
Angel Di Maria against his former winning a corner kick. He was probably welcomed by some of the Real Madrid faithful here. I remember his time. He's went on to PSG and now trying to force his way into the Argentina squad for the upcoming World Cup, which I still have not got used to saying, the Winter World Cup.
Please don't ever get used to it.
Whipped in Courtois, who was man of the match in Paris a couple of months ago. Comfortable, but then almost gave it away. Vinicius with a chance to go forward. His ball inside for Benzema. Scored an absolutely world-class goal against Club America. Valverde, Modric. Valverde, good play again from Real Madrid. They look really on the game here early on.
Yeah, very much more on the game for me, just as you say that. Of course, commentators curse, they give the ball away, but you are right. They started well early on, obviously had that goal disallowed inside the first 15, 16 seconds. But certainly against Barcelona, they were very much second best. Not only because they didn't have a shot on target, not only because they didn't dictate and dominate possession, but Barcelona really squeezed high on Real Madrid, and they really struggled to break that pressure, Real Madrid, which is very much a surprise for a side of the quality and the technical ability of Real Madrid. But of course, it wasn't this 11-on show against Barca.
Valverde. Carvajal. Some managers would get a little bit flustered when they lose a Clasico, but not Mr. Ancelotti.
Nothing flusters him, that's for certain. He's been there, done it, seen everything.
Valverde, he's been really lively so far. And he's won a free kick here. Locatelli goes across and he's pleading his innocence. It did look like there was contact.
Well, there was certainly a little bit of contact, but also it's not the sort of challenge you want to see in pre-season. Valverde obviously with some nice tight control. Then you see that challenge. It's a poor challenge from Locatelli, and luckily Valverde's foot wasn't planted, otherwise that could have been a little bit nasty. You never want to see that type of challenge, certainly not in pre-season. But of course, we're getting closer. The players want to have those 50-50 tackles, but they certainly don't need that type of leg break almost. It certainly had the propensity to be from Locatelli.
This is a long way out, but Toni Kroos, the obvious right-footed option. Alaba is known to go for goal from this distance, and said they've gone a training ground routine to Valverde, and it's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, it was. It certainly was something they've worked on previously, of course. but to hit that moving ball coming across you as it was for Valverde, it's a tough skill. Certainly one he's managed in training, of course, time after time, but it didn't happen here on match day.
That goes to Matthew Perret, general goalkeeper. Modric. Gives it away cheaply. Then it goes back to Perret. You can hear the chants. No doubt about who the favourites of the fans are here in Pasadena. Almost too quick for Vinicius.
Absolutely, 100%. He was just thinking one move ahead. Vinicius wasn't on the same wavelength.
He's got another opportunity. Really cheap giveaway. Vinicius going at two defenders and he's just run into them. Good ball from Bonucci, just dropped off. That was a let-off for Juventus, who've given the ball away cheaply on a couple of occasions now. Down for Juve in the midfield. Dusan Vlahovic. So much expected of him. He loses out that time. Benzema. Vinicius making the run further forward. Slipping through. Good piece defending. Bonucci.
It's a couple of times now, isn't it? In quick succession, Bonucci. I don't quite want to say he's shown his experience, but he has shown that ability to read the game that we know he has. As you've mentioned a little bit earlier on, Keith, no more Chiellini. I just envisage those two guys being sat together in the training ground, in the dressing room, on the back of the bus playing cards. I just think those guys have been on the same wavelength for year upon year. Now he needs a new partner, and he's found one in Bremer.
Modric. Good movement from Benzema. He just drops into that pocket, turns and faces up. Absolute nightmare for a centre-back to play against.
The centre-back needs help from the player playing in that holding midfield position ahead of them, because that's what he loves to do, Benzema. Drop 5-10 yards off those centre-halves. That's when you need Locatelli to be playing on his toes. That's all down to communication as well. The communication has to come from Bremer and from Bonucci in telling Locatelli exactly where Benzema is going. And he does it again.
Yeah, Benzema again finding a pocket. Valverde again trying to find Benzema. That one's well cut up. Might not make Juventus feel any better, but pretty much every team has had the same issue with trying to lock down that space that Benzema will exploit.
And I think he's just one of those players that you know exactly what he's going to do, but it's still tough to stop. It's like Bayern Munich and Ian Robben, when Robben used to cut in from the right-hand side and curl it into that top corner, or Carlos Vela at LAFC. You know exactly what he's going to do. It's hard to stop sometimes. When players have that much quality, they've seen everything defensively, and it remains really hard for them to stop it. And Benzema, just sheer class, world-class, you call. Called it, I agree.
Cheap giveaway moments ago, and Real Madrid again on the front foot. Carvajal. Casemiro. Cruz. Modric. Very high, as Lucas Vazquez did against Club America in that right-back position. Cruz. A couple of young midfielders now, Real Madrid, and Aurelien Tchouameni and Camavinga. You wonder if that's the future. Tell Toni Kroos and Luka Modric that.
It's certainly the future, but it's one that Toni Kroos hopes is the future in 2 or 3 years' time, rather than this season or next, that's for sure. Because Tchouameni and Camavinga are undoubted talents.
Vinicius, and again, just a little bit too much on it from the young Brazilian. He hasn't had the best start on that left-hand side. But in for Locatelli. Also, Juventus do have in the ranks US international Weston McKennie in midfield as well.
It's been a shame, hasn't it? On this sort of pre-season tour, this pre-season tour that we haven't seen him.
Playing that ball for Sandro, gets in behind. Sandro gets his cross in, flicked towards the far post. And cleared by Ferland Mendy. That was much better from Juventus, and it was a marauding run forward from the left-back, Alexandra, that started it.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes into the game. That's really the first time that Juventus have caused any problems for this back line of Real Madrid.
Bonucci. Catani goes back to Bonucci. First time Real Madrid have been back into their own half of the field. Zakaria, the former Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder. Bremer. Sandro. Locatelli. This is better from Juventus, but good pressure as well. Well played, that pressure. Now there's options on for Juve. Vlahovic, that one just behind the ring. Was it a foul? Yes, it was. Free kick in a really good position. Good run from Dusan Vlahovic.
It's Fascioli who's been fouled. And again, it's another one of those sliding challenges. Because he's slightly out of position here, Casemiro absolutely nowhere near the man. Well, nowhere near the ball, rather. Very near to the man. Just lifts that right leg as Fascioli's trying to jump over him. It's a yellow card in a game, that is for certain, in a real game that's not a pre-season friendly.
Two options further forward as well. Vlahovic and Di Maria had made a really good run too. Now it's going to be a free kick, and this may well be in shooting distance. So angry watching on.
At least you have to believe here that this will be a direct shot. So 26, 27 yards out here. Left footer and right footer over the ball.
Sandro and Bonucci. See if Bonucci's pull rank here. Let's go for goal, and it's off the woodwork.
But it's certainly not very often that the centre-half can call off the forward player. If this is another couple of yards out, this may just dip down and hit the target. This one just grazes the top of the bar from Bonucci.
High press continues here. That's much better again from Juventus. And this one might fall for them. Chance. Thibaut Courtois down, and it's a complete miss hit of a shot. Zakaria from midfield. It's going to be a goal kick, but it was mistakes at the back from Real Madrid that opened things up. And it really should have been punished.
They should be. And this is how they struggled, Real Madrid, against Barcelona. Here, Vlahovic just gets in the way of Zakaria. He wanted it. He's a centre-forward, Vlahovic. Even though his back's to goal, he wanted to get on that rebound. But he shouldn't have. Vlahovic should have just got out of the way. Then Zakaria, for me, would have hit the target without a shadow of a doubt. Real Madrid, tonight, they have the starting 11 we would expect. Hasn't played together, certainly in this pre-season.
Juventus absolutely caught napping. Vinicius made a really good run, not offside because it's a throw-in. Finds Benzema, well defended. Zakaria got back in and made the challenge. Lovely piece of industry from Vinicius to recognise that high defensive line.
Such a number of players caught ball watching, players of the quality of Bremer and Bonucci caught ball watching. Quite remarkable.
At full stretch, and is this one going to go out and play for a corner? Yes, it is. Fascinating match so far. Really good start from Real Madrid. Juventus have responded.
It's not just about a quarter of an hour in and we've got a real football match on our hands, and we shouldn't be surprised about that when you've got two giants of football like Real Madrid and Juventus. As you've mentioned, just days away from that first game, that first true competitive game for Real Madrid.
Bruce goes for Vinicius. Bruce back for Modric. Twists and turns, gets it on his left foot. Never had enough purchase on it to really trouble. Carvajal, not there today. Goes onto his left foot and overhits the cross. And a play for the Juventus goal kick.
Yeah, I agree. I think the cross is overhit, but also I think there'll be the expectancy from Valverde that someone will be pulling around that back post, and nobody is. Everybody had congregated in between the goalposts. Nobody, Vinicius Junior, would expect him just to drop off and maybe curl a run towards that back stick. Nothing happened, though. Just made Valverde's cross look way overhit.
Both sides have tried to press when the opportunity presents itself. Really warm day today in California, but Cooling down now here as the sun sets in Pasadena. Very nice touch for Bonucci. Breno. Nice ball forward. Di Maria, good challenge, really good tackle. Benzema, Casemiro. Aldrich. Benzema again just drifting and trying to pick out a pass for Vinicius. Really good read from Bonucci, but we're seeing every facet of Karim Benzema's game. Not just a goal scorer, he can be a provider as well.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to watch that El Clasico in Las Vegas, and it was a Benzema-less Real Madrid side, and it is that kind of ability, that type of player to drop a little deeper, find pockets of space that they missed on that evening. Certainly aren't missing it here. It's probably the best player for me so far, Karim Benzema for Real Madrid.
Valverde. Benzema being the real danger man so far again. He just seems to find a way to turn and face up against the opposition. Cruz. It's a shot giveaway and a rare giveaway from him. And a chance to come the other way for Juventus. Di Maria, Vlahovic. And it's given right back. Now Vinicius has a bit of space up against Bonucci. Benzema on the overlap. Vinicius going to go alone. Is he taken down? Certainly looked that way. And a penalty's given. Just a clip on the back of the ankle from Vinicius. But what a run from Benzema to open up that space as well. Juventus complain, but I think when we watch a replay, it's going to be pretty clear. This was a penalty.
Well, we've got no VAR on show here, so this is 100% a penalty, we know that, and it's the correct decision as well for Michael Radchuk. And what an absolutely dreadful giveaway here from Vlahovic. It's a really poor pass. You have to covet the ball, you have to want to possess it, and this one from Benzema, just overlapping Vinicius Junior, just opens the whole game up for the Real Madrid forward, and he just cuts inside towards that penalty spot, and he is clipped. 100% a penalty. Dreadful play. Juventus cannot give the ball away there against the team of that attacking prowess of this purple-clad Real Madrid side.
A big moment for Matc in goal tonight. He's tasked with trying to deny Karim Benzema from the penalty spot. Many people's favourite for the Ballon d'Or, Karim Benzema! Couldn't have hit it any better. Keeper gets right, but it was with such precision from Benzema that he was not going to get there, and Real Madrid have the opening goal at the Rose Bowl.
Well, the best player on show tonight has provided us with the first goal. Yes, it's come from the penalty spot, an unopposed strike from 12 yards, of course, but Benzema hits it truly, hits it with pace and with precision. Absolutely nothing Perin can do. Here's the foul, absolutely 100% a foul. Danilo can point at the ball as much as he wants, but the ball's the round spherical thing, he gets nowhere near it. It's a foul, and this is how to take a penalty, Keith. The goalkeeper can guess the right way if he wants. Gets nowhere near it, clasping at thin air. 1-0 to Real Madrid, I think it deserved 1-0 too.
And all from a giveaway. Vinicius, well, he was taken down, but again, Karim Benzema playing a huge part in that as well. 34 years of age, and still willing to make the overlapping run to open up space for others.
Absolutely, willing to be unselfish. I think he knew he wasn't going to get the ball. I think that was a run merely to take defenders away. And of course, when you've got Benzema overlapping, it's no wonder that the Juventus defenders are all of a sudden just keeping their eye on him, moving towards him, open for space up. A terrible challenge as well from Danilo. I think Di Maria sometimes loves to flick inside into the middle of the field. He's playing more on the right-hand side here.
From Juventus. He just about keeps it in play. Sandro alongside him. Good challenge from Militao. It's a real physical battle. And the free kick goes against the Juventus striker. Militao, Matty, another one that took a while to win over the fans. He came in and you have Sergio Ramos, you have him looming large when you're a Juventus centre-back. He's coming off an excellent campaign.
Yeah, he is. And I think slowly but surely he's growing into this team as well here at Real Madrid. It's certainly a foul for Moise Kean. I think there's a lot of malice in it, not a real great deal of intent, but it is a free kick.
I think he took a knock where time is the only healer for that injury.
Just checking everything's in place, but
We've all been there. Towards Valverde. Valverde as well.
Yeah, Benzema just gave him a little clap there. I don't think Benzema was expecting that. You've always got to be gambling, expecting a teammate to win a flick on. But maybe Benzema's just seen Valverde's heading in training and didn't think that was quite possible.
This was in the 2017 Champions League final. Just a hint or a way of showing the longevity of this Real Madrid team. 5 of the players that started in 2017 are starting this evening as well.
What a great statistic that is. That really is, as you say, for those players to be at their peak as well as way back as 2017 and all here, all together, still the core, the nucleus of that side, and still winning. I think that's the main point, Keith.
Juventus, Alexandro and Leonardo Bonucci both started that game. Possession here in midfield. They have options for Di Maria. Just turning into pressure. Managed to keep himself going forward. Vlahovic looking for another free kick. Sandro. Ragioli. The ball in behind and good piece of defending. Casemiro not only wins it, but he keeps it in play as well. Although he almost gave it right back to Juventus.
It's a holding midfielder's job as well. Casemiro does it so well. We know that earlier he did give a poor free kick away on the edge of the penalty area. Apart from that, he's been pretty flawless so far, Casemiro.
Bit of pressure.
Yeah, we know that sometimes under pressure, Militao maybe doesn't quite crumble, but we know he doesn't perform always the best under pressure. We saw him in the earlier pre-season friendly in Vegas when he gave the ball away on the edge of his own penalty area. That resulted in a goal for Barcelona. It was the winner for Barca.
Free kick here for Juventus. That win, incidentally, for Real Madrid in Paris. 14th Champions League title. And Juventus, on the other hand, have lost 7 finals. They've been in the final on 9 occasions. So when you consider the elite of European competition, Real Madrid just seem to elevate themselves into another level all by themselves. Defensive play from Alaba. It's going to be a throw-in for Juve. These two remember each other from their time in the Bundesliga, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's talk about Real Madrid, and that's what winners do, isn't it? They perform under pressure as well, and against the best of the best, the elite, the best in Europe. They don't seem to lose many finals.
Danilo, nice angle on that cross for the right footer. Valverde, back for Carvajal. 5 Champions Leagues for Carvajal at that right back position. Wide for Vinicius, good read by Danilo. Yeah, just pocket pick by Toni Kroos. Julie, nice ball out wide from Moise Kean. He's been quiet so far. Down the line, Everton man. Jolie. Looking for the ball in behind. Good run from Vlahovic. Sandro whips that one in. And Ferland Mendy. Near works out well for the French defender. Question again, and that's not a great ball. Militao has appeals for a penalty. All the Juve fans in attendance. Militao was at full stretch. It was an awful ball. I feel like Mendy. Actually, it was a Vinicius. I think it might have ended up with the pass of the referee. Being surrounded by Juventus players. You mentioned it, Matty. No foul tonight, so on-field decision stands.
Yeah, look. We know that Di Maria has that propensity to go over easily and certainly will make a meal of things. But this was very, very close. I haven't seen another look at it, but at the time I thought there was every chance this could be a penalty. It was a really close one. But the main crux of the matter is, don't play a square ball across your own penalty area. It really is. For Mendy here, it's difficult to tell at full speed. So if Michael Radjic's got it wrong, you can see why. I think Di Maria gets to the ball, but at a very similar time to Militao.
You've seen those given though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've certainly seen those given, that's for certain, and I still stick with it. At match speed, I thought it was a penalty. This would need to go to VAR and would need to be looked at time and time again and slowed down and seen from different angles, of course.
I just wonder if the players knew there was no VAR, and pre-season, of course, but they did surround the referee, Michael Radjic, and he was kind of just saying that all the decisions already been made, we move on. We have a bit of a water break because of the hot temperatures here.
Well, as you see that again, it almost looks 50-50. It almost looks as though they get to the ball at exactly the same time. I think Militao will just about, he gets to the ball first. I don't quite want to sit on the fence, Keith, but I'm thoroughly happy to sit on the fence here. And
who would be a referee? That's
exactly.
All I'm gonna say.
Well, not me, that's for sure.
Not a very good one anyway.
No, that'd be dreadful.
Max Allegri talking to Fagioli, who has been lively in midfield. He's got on the ball a couple of times. Well, it is a stunning venue. It hosted the 1994 World Cup. Juventus fans, Italian fans won't want that mentioned too many times. Beautiful setting here in Medina. The only goal so far has come because Vinicius was taken down. There's the challenge.
Yeah, it's definitely a foul, this one. Dinello claims he plays the ball, but this is how to dispatch a penalty, isn't it, from Benzema? The goalkeeper guesses the right way, Perrin, but just the power and the precision takes the ball past Perrin. Doesn't even get fingertips to it.
Are we looking at the Ballon d'Or winner this year?
No, it'll probably go to Lionel Messi or Ronaldo as normal, but yes, we should be looking at the Ballon d'Or winner, that is for certain. I'll take my tongue-in-cheek comments away. Of course, 100% Karim Benzema should be the Ballon d'Or winner. And look, he's showing why here as well tonight. And yes, I know a pre-season friendly. I know an exhibition game, if you will. He's the best player on the park right now, and at 34 years of age, in a pre-season friendly. He could claim that he could be taking a breather. He should be in the starting 11 of that Super Cup game, whether he performs well or not tonight.
It's key, trying to get in behind Militao, utilising that pace of his to get across.
His game's quick as well. Militao's equally fast as well. It's a great thing for a centre-half, maybe somebody who doesn't read the game as well as, say, a Bonucci. But if you can be reliant on that quick pace over the first 5-10 yards, as Militao is, it certainly helps you out.
Last week.
Absolutely, bodies are getting forward very quickly, and the two fullbacks, are getting forward as well. almost there. Carvajal got so far forward, Valverde was getting in his way. Should have called him off really at the back post there, Carvajal. But again, it's about Benzema, isn't it? And that willingness to be unselfish, even when he's got the ball in the penalty area, he doesn't always shoot. Trying to pick out a teammate. Actually, good win again from Liverpool. Really good at centre-back so far for Real Madrid. Vinicius. Equally impressive, Bonucci. It's just a little bit different centre-half to Militao. We've talked about Militao's reliance on pace. Bonucci certainly doesn't. It's all about reading the game. Almost, for me, growing up watching Alan Hansen, that type of player. Who never gets their knees dirty, never has to slide in. They read the game so well, and Bonucci certainly does that. They've gone around the Rose Bowl right now, the atmosphere ramping up a notch. They're not looking comfortable playing that ball back in. And again, Juventus winning it high. Vlahovic. Look, it's intriguing that you mentioned that about Mendy and his uncomfortableness on the ball at times. That's what there's a lot of talk about Rudiger maybe playing left back for Real Madrid. And certainly he performed pretty well in their last friendly game. Rudiger did for Real Madrid. Modric. With one foot to the defender again. 26 years of age. It's still going really strong. Benzema, 34. Cruz, 32. Veterans, but still masters of the craft. Yeah, almost in the modern game, at 32, maybe 34. That's not so much of a veteran. We see players going on longer than that. You only need to look at Ibrahimovic. I know he may be one of the only ones. When you look at Ronaldo, I think mid-30s, players still have that ability to play. The way they look after themselves, the sports scientists and nutritionists, players are easily able to go into their mid-30s. Vinicius, Modric, Valverde, Carvajal to go for goal. Instead he tried to cross. I thought the angle was on for him to strike. He was trying to be unselfish. He's won a corner, but he could have had so much more. But in trying to be unselfish, I think he's trying to cross the ball back in between five defenders. It makes it very difficult. I think you're right with your first assumption. Strike the ball across the goalkeeper. That was the option. The short corner doesn't come off, and it's out of play for the goalkeeper. Carvajal, though, man, he had some difficult time. I remember the performance against Paris Saint-Germain where Kylian Mbappe seemed to have his way with him, but ever resilient Real Madrid last year. Found a way in games, even when they weren't at the best. Yeah, but look, sometimes you can't blame a player by being gone up by Kylian Mbappe, either one of the best in the world, as we know. And what we also know about the best players in the world, somebody like a Carvajal at his position, is just because they have a bad game, they don't let it affect them. They get back out on that training ground, they watch video, they realise what they did wrong. The expectation he was going to go for goal there, instead he tried to find Valverde. Now he's gone all the way to the far post. Vinicius towards that far post, but too close to pin it. You see what Vinicius is aiming for there, for Benzema at the far post. There's 3 or 4 Juventus shirts around him, though. Really difficult ball, trying to thread the eye of the needle there, Vinicius. Press coming from Real Madrid again, this time won by Alaba. Cruz. Modric, all about shooting. Carvajal on the overlap again. It's back in between two, but Cruz chases it down. Casemiro. Not just overlapping fullbacks. We have Alaba as a left winger. He plays central midfield for the Austrian national team. Yeah, but he knows he's got Casemiro there, who's just willing to sit in as a left centre half. They just switch positions now. Get back quickly here because Vlahovic trying to lead the counter. Di Maria. Juventus, one of those clubs that do find value in some of the older players. Not afraid to bring in someone like Di Maria. They have Bonucci, of course, still leading that
back line.
Have more ability to do that in Serie A as well. It's slightly slower paced as well. And Di Maria will fit in pretty well there. As I say, Di Maria and Pogba in that first friendly that I saw Juventus playing against Chivas Guadalajara. The team not quite the same ability, of course, as Real Madrid. But they were very, very influential. Just a real shame that Pogba already this early on has got injured.
Everybody would agree that Pogba's best spells out, top player came in Juventus colours.
Totally shows Benzema onto his left foot. Benzema, as you know, wants to cut back onto his right foot. Even with Bonucci offering up that angle to take a shot at the left foot, he tries to cut back. Bonucci's seen that before.
Pre-season or not, you see the very best against the very best in that kind of situation. Di Maria just not coming back from an offside position.
Yes, the best against the best, but you see winners not wanting to lose as well, whether it's pre-season, whether it's tiddlywinks, whether it's a game of cards, those type of people, they are born to win. There's no way they want to have any let up here. Bonucci, absolutely top draw, as is Benzema. Casemiro had sat back into that position. Had a camera shot, they were just giving each other a little bit of a pat, Casemiro and Alaba. To say, understanding of the game, all of these Real Madrid players, Casemiro certainly does. Anytime he sees Alaba overlapping him, he just sits back in straight alongside Militao.
To himself. Moments like that, you know you're watching the best European competition. Reigning Champions League winners.
anonymous. He hasn't been in the game until we put him an old school centre forward, I tend to agree. Unless you can get the ball into him, he is anonymous. He's almost been an abject performance from him. It's not just his fault. Vinicius loves to come inside. Good ball for Benzema, back for Vinicius. Might fall again for Benzema. Alexander to come across and just intercept. And there, Juve almost give it right back, but then take no chances as it clears. So maybe as far as Modric. Pressure coming again here from the European champions. Ball in Vinicius. That near post. But I had to be so precise to beat the goalkeeper. You like the confidence of the young man? Yeah, I don't know whether he just had a little look up here though, Vinicius. He does so well to get himself back on side. As the ball comes to him, he maybe has a little glance up, sees there's nobody in the penalty area, so he has to go for that near post area. As you say though, Keith, it will be very difficult to beat any goalkeeper from that angle, but there's nobody in the box for him to play it to, so the only real option, but for me, we've probably got to go across the face of the goalkeeper. Near post area, always a strong position for the goalie. Zakaria put under pressure again. Majoli, Modric. He's he held on to it there ahead of Carvajal. He wants the free kick, and I think the referee has blown the whistle. Yeah, Carvajal was just run over. He knew they'd accidentally stood on the back, probably the Achilles of Moise Kean. Kean just trotting away. I think he'll be all right though. Bonucci. Brenner. This side is furious. That ball wasn't being played earlier. A little flicky behind. Vlahovic, really good run on the wrong side of Militao. He did well to get back in and make that interception. He was beaten for a moment, but he recovered well. That's what pace does for you, isn't it? Vlahovic is just waiting for the ball to drop. By that time, Militao's already got himself back into position. He's furious as well, Militao. He wants a goal kick there. This might be the last opportunity in the first half for Juventus. Angel Di Maria. Bonucci making his way into the penalty area. Called in. think he has a modicum of pace still left in those old legs, Di Maria, but I think now it's more about the manipulation of the ball and that technical ability to find pockets of space and to pick out other players for Juventus, for teammates, rather than dribbling past multiple people.
Can he get the delivery of Valverde? Closes them down well. It's been a good battle. Cruz. Vinicius. Benzema. Still worked out. Vinicius, Benzema. Out in 2 minutes. I think that might be it. All eyes on Michael Rancho. And there is the half-time whistle. Thoroughly entertaining. First 45 minutes here between the reigning Champions League winners and Italian giant Juventus. Karim Benzema, the only goal of the match on the penalty spot after Vinicius was taken down. Real Madrid have had some other chances as well, but at halftime here at the Rose Bowl in California, the score is Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0. Welcome back to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. The final game of the summer tour for both Real Madrid. It's the halftime score. Real Madrid, the reigning Champions League winners, leading by a goal. Karim Benzema scoring from the spot. On your match commentator, Keith Costigan, alongside former Millwall defender Matty Lawrence, among other clubs, of course. Matty, entertaining first half. Real Madrid edging it with the goal. Fair reflection for you on what we saw over the first half?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Real Madrid were the better side. I think Juventus struggled to play out of the back at times. When Real Madrid implemented that high press, I think apart from Bonucci, there wasn't really anybody that comfortable of playing the ball out of the back. Locatelli, I don't think, was creating enough angles to receive the ball out of defence, and I think Real Madrid were on top. We can look at statistics, which don't always show us went on, but I feel it's a fair reflection. 58% possession to Real Madrid, and also the goal, of course. 4 shots, one on target for Real Madrid, no shots on target for Juventus. I think it's been a really easy night in goal for Thibaut Courtois so far.
Are we seeing some of the reasons Juventus are being linked with bringing in another striker or another attacking player over the course of the next few weeks?
Absolutely spot on. I think Vlahovic, I used the word anonymous. I think that was almost too polite to Vlahovic. He wasn't there. We didn't see him. We know that he's more of a striker who likes the ball being played into him. But I think Benzema showed him how to play as a big man. You can create pockets of space in between the defence and the holding midfielder. You can get the ball yourself. You can play on the half turn. You can create space for other players around you. Vlahovic, I don't think, did any of the above, Keith. And for me, I'm not a massive fan of Anthony Martial, but I think it would be an upgrade on Vlahovic right now. Certainly looking at the 45 we've seen so far.
Couple of changes, one on either side. One Cuadrado is going to come on in place of Angel Di Maria. He's still working his way in pre-season with his new club. Tony Rudiger is going to come on and replace Militao, and it just shows you the strength and depth defensively for Real Madrid this year. He was a much coveted signing, Rudiger.
It really does. And look, Rudiger, we know can play at left back. We know he can play at centre half. The assumption being that it will be a straight swap here for Militao. But also looking at Mendy, the way he's played today, sometimes his inability to pick out a teammate almost. We know he's good defensively, but going forward with the ball, he hasn't been that good. And when I watched Rudiger playing as a left back against Barcelona, he was one of the highlights for Real Madrid in that game where they really got outplayed by the Catalan team, Barcelona.
Matty, only 3 players in Champions League last year completed more passes than Tony Rudiger in that left centre-back role for Chelsea. And not for the first time tonight, you've waited. And as we mentioned before, when you've won pretty much everything, and you are the reigning Champions League winners, they will wait.
Yeah, and I don't think that's an egotistical thing. Well, I hope it's not from Real Madrid, but look, the game can only start when there's 2 sets of players out there. But you are right. What a great side Real Madrid. We mentioned some of the older players as well, but the older players have almost been the better players on show here. I think Toni Kroos has been fantastic. Benzema probably the pick of the bunch. Modric as well. We haven't seen masses of Modric, but at 36 years of age, still out there, still performing to the best of his ability.
Juventus to kick things off, attacking from right to left to start the second half. Cuadrado on, Di Maria off, Rudiger on for Real Madrid. Militao off. So Carlo Ancelotti embracing some of the Juventus staff there as well. Former Juve manager. Famous for his time as a player with Milan, that all-conquering Milan team which won 2 European Cups. Pre-season matchups.
Yeah, I think the closer you get to competitive matchups, you start out in pre-season friendlies, maybe playing a 45, maybe only a half an hour in some of the lesser friendlies. You work your way up, then you play 60, then maybe a 75, and at times before your first competitive game, you'll play a whole 90 as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these Real Madrid players do play a full 90 before that Super Cup game against Frankfurt in 10 days' time.
Good run from Keane.
It was. It's a decent ball from Locatelli as well. He knows where Keane's running. He doesn't really look. Just curls it around Carvajal. But it's good recovery from Dani Carvajal. Puts the pressure on Keane. But you can see, just scuffs the shot. Moise Keane.
Renan Vlahovic and Alaba looked like he slipped for a moment. Good read from Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, that's Courtois. What he's all about as well. That starting position. The starting position for a goalkeeper. The anticipation of those 3 balls as well.
I think at some stage last season there was a top 10 list by a publication in Europe in terms of goalkeeping. They actually left Thibaut Courtois off, and he was, let's just say, a little unhappy about it. I think he answered some critics in the Champions League final.
He played with a chip on his shoulder the whole time after that. He let everybody know in the Champions League final. I think he will be very good for Juventus. I know sometimes it's difficult to come into a new side, but the good thing with Bremer is, you know, he's not coming into a new league. It's a league he's comfortable with, the Serie A. And I think alongside Bonucci, who's wildly experienced, I think that would be a really good pairing.
Situation, Cuadrado across from Chelsea, initially as a winger, played a lot as a fullback as well. Good pressure, but maybe too overzealous with the challenge of the free kick given for Real Madrid.
He's able to play multiple positions, as you said, seen him play at right back, at left wing, and now at right wing, just in the few pre-season friendlies that Juventus have played here in the States. Don't quite want that moniker though
from Dusan Vlahovic. I think his argument might be that he hasn't got the ball in these kind of areas enough. He's got the off it though. Really good defensive play again. Casemiro, one of the best in the business at it. Valverde, lovely play from him as well. Casemiro, Valverde continuing his run toward Benzema. He lets that one run for Vinicius. Vinicius going at Danilo, pulls it back. Benzema. Alaba on his left foot. Well, he just continues to wander from centre back, David Alaba.
Well, Alaba doesn't mind at all, does he? He will progress as far up the field as possible. It looks a decent strike as well. It's a good block in the end. Another corner kick for Real Madrid, who've started this second half very much as they finished the first.
Cruz. It's an impulse, well defended. Modric. Chasing out with that lovely little reverse pass for Toni Kroos. Options on that far side, and I think Benzema actually might have got in the way of Toni Rudiger, who was just behind him.
But absolutely, you would have thought that Rudiger would have called Benzema off, because Benzema can only get underneath the ball here and just head it up in the air. There's no way he can get a header on target. But Kroos now has another go from the corner kick. The first one was a little bit short, got headed away at the near post.
Kroos, right foot in, and the header well wide. Alaba again, the target.
Well, Alaba's playmaker, isn't he, right now, it seems. Playing as a centre-half. He's found himself in left wing positions, found himself in right midfield positions. Maybe that's just showing us how dominant Real Madrid have been in this game, that the centre-half feels himself capable of doing that.
There's pressure again from Real Madrid. Again, just too much on it from Casemiro, but going back to Alaba, Matty, long-time left-back at Bayern, and the best in the business, went to centre-back, one of the best in the league again, and for Austria, the best central midfielder they have. Oh, and by the way, he can score a set-piece as well.
Full confidence in all of those positions as well. I talked about Kroos being a jack of all trades, master of none, but Alaba, he can manage to do that as well.
Master of all trades.
Exactly.
Cuadrado, Danilo. Xavi's gonna want this is better from Juventus. Danilo. Pull back. Cuadrado. Inside the area, Cuadrado. Couple of step overs, maybe one too many. Shift towards the far post. Kane, just too much on it. Just over the shoulder of Carvajal. Many moments, but really hard to remember. Thibaut Courtois called into action.
Casemiro certainly hasn't made a save of any note, that's for sure.
Really strong challenge from Sandro Valverde.
Well, a little bit petulant, you'd say. I think that's just telling you Juventus aren't feeling too good about this performance so far. They've been outplayed at the moment. They themselves are not far away from the first game of the season against Sassuolo.
They both start the same weekend, but of course the one big game in between Real Madrid is that Super Cup. The travels opening weekend, Almeria. The walk in the Bernabeu is just about done. You've seen that. Had a bit of a facelift over the last couple of years. Running behind and spacing behind. Real opportunity here for Real Madrid. The cross towards Valverde and Madc coming back in. Locatelli with interception.
Well, it's just a little bit too much of a time of flight on this ball. Just allows Locatelli to get back into position. It's a high foot, but he clears it well. The ball just needed to be fizzed across to Valverde a little bit quicker and better for Mendy.
Modric. Kroos. Back to Modric. Outside of the foot and just overhit again. Over Rudiger, who just, I think, gives a bit of a thumbs up. He liked the idea. Execution just wasn't quite right.
Yeah, it's very rarely that you say that about the passing of Modric, whether it's with the inside of the right foot, the outside. This time with the outside of the right foot, just trying to pick out Rudiger.
He's got a bad record of scoring big goals, does he, with the outside of that foot, Luka Modric? Former Ballon d'Or winner himself. And in this time and age, when you have Mr. Ronaldo and Messi, that's quite a feat.
I think we all hope, most people hope, that a teammate of his, including Benzema, wins it this time.
Benzema. Getting into pressure again, Colorado. He's offered a bit of energy since coming on. Again, the free kick is given. Real Madrid, who at times in that Champions League run sat back and defended a little bit deeper. They've been high pressing today. It's a challenge. I don't think any doubt about that.
No, not at all. Definitely a foul, and you're right. I think that Real Madrid also have the ability to change the tactics, and we know that Carlo Ancelotti definitely has that. And I don't think they could have played against Liverpool in this manner. I know this is only a pre-season friendly, but they're set up to press high. They felt they could do that against Liverpool. They sat back and hit on the counter, and it worked. And it worked throughout the Champions League for them.
So many times we thought they were down and out. PSG, Chelsea, Manchester City.
Well, Man City was the one for me.
They've dropped off and ball out wide. Another opportunity. Cross in. And Bellingham to add to it. Still not cleared. Carvajal. Cruz back for Alaba. Mendy staying really advanced. Much more adventurous with his position in the second half. Lovely touch by Vinicius. Benzema takes it off the foot of Cruz. And gives it to the German international. Vinicius goes for goal. And that one a couple of yards over. I mentioned in the first half, Matty, the run's coming from so many different angles from Real Madrid in the attack. There's Mendy coming forward.
Yeah, brilliant from Mendy. Just fizzes the ball across the goalkeeper. A decent strong hand from Bellerin. Here, the power cut attempted by Vinicius Junior. You have to get that on target. You have to force a save from the goalkeeper. Especially when you've got a more inexperienced goalkeeper in the likes of Bellerin. What's into making a save?
Chest trap there from Kralovic. Key. Where's Key? Trying to get to the byline. Gets his cross in, but there was enough pressure on him from Carvajal to just knock him out of his stride and comfortable again for Thibaut Courtois.
Little nudge with the shoulder just as Keane was about to cross the ball. Forcing just to cross it into the hands of Courtois. That's probably certainly not the toughest save, because it wasn't a save, but certainly the toughest thing he's had to do almost, Courtois.
Well, back from Modric. Rudiger. It's going to be interesting to see exactly where he lies in his back four.
Yeah, I think his strongest position is at centre-half without a shadow of a doubt, but we saw him going up against Dembele when Real Madrid were playing against Barcelona in Las Vegas, and he did a decent job. More than a decent job, in fact.
Dembele did to Juventus.
Yeah, he didn't do that to Rudiger. Rudiger's a great one-on-one defender. I think he's almost a little bit too tall to be a fullback, but one-on-one defending certainly up against Dembele did fantastically well. Some centre-halves get uncomfortable defending one-on-one. He doesn't at all. He's happy to be out in those wider positions.
Rudiger took a deflection. That's what they're saying that Casemiro has just decided to stay back in centre back. Now he's back in midfield. But it was a split 50-50 with Alaba in terms of that position in the second
the other, and it ended up with a shot from Carvajal, a decent save from Bellerin.
Benzema, Cruz. These areas, it doesn't look like Juventus feel comfortable going out and trying to defend. Dropping off and allowing for shots from distance. That one wasn't that far away from Toni Cruz.
Well, I think the point that you're making is absolutely true there, Keith. They're not comfortable pressing. They're dropping and dropping and dropping. And here is the culmination of that move from one end to the other. Here's again another power curl attempted, this time from Toni Cruz. Again, no off target. Players of that quality, you expect them to hit the target. And look, they're just giving the ball straight back here, Juventus as well. They're playing without confidence right now. And again, I get why. They're being played off the park at the moment.
Looks like he's getting ready to come on for Juventus. We're almost at that time in these kind of games where our jobs become a little bit more difficult.
Oh, your job, Keith. I'm fine. I'm fine not being able to see the numbers, but yeah, you're right. I think, as I said, I think some Real Madrid players will play a full 90, but we will expect, obviously, substitutes on that hour mark. We're just about that now.
Flick off a defender, and that one off the outstretched left leg of Bonucci, and Real Madrid will have another corner kick in. Yeah, it certainly looks like the cavalry is about to arrive. Bearing 9 changes ahead for Real Madrid.
Okay, so there you are. I'm completely wrong. Nobody's going to be playing 90 minutes for Real Madrid, and the cavalry is arriving. I think Carlo Ancelotti will be very happy with what he's seen in this opening hour of the game.
I'm guessing Rudiger's going to stay on. There you go. Cruz. Back to Benzema, good first touch. I think he wanted to try set himself up for a volley, but he was closed down well by Juventus. Really good defensive play once again from Real Madrid. Rudiger, he talked about his rugby ability to solve there. Benzema on his left foot, cold effort! What a save from Bellerin! Barely a gap, but Benzema still found a way to go for goal. And the corner's taken quickly here by Real Madrid. Cruz, Modric! Bellerin again with the save.
Two good saves from Bellerin. And I think the players on show now, they've seen all the substitutes. They wanted to go out with a bang, that's for sure. Benzema certainly did, forced a really good save from the fingertips of the right hand of Bellerin.
3 more changes coming for Juventus as well. Majoli. Cobrado, who's come out this left for the very first time. Sandro. Accardia. Locatelli. You can see the idea as he was looking to slip that one in foot, but rather with the flag had gone up. And now we will see the changes. Aurelien Tchouameni, one of them. Camavinga also coming on. Rodrigo. And a great ovation inside the Rose Bowl for this starting Real Madrid side.
Why not? Karim Benzema leads the claps of the Real Madrid players. I think they appreciate this sellout crowd here at the Rose Bowl. Predominantly Real Madrid fans as well. Has to be about 95% Real Madrid fans here.
Vasquez looks like he's going to right back. Vallejo, I think, is on at centre back. Courtois, for now, is the only one that could go at 90. Because I think we have 3 players on the line for Juventus. Nicola Rovella, Aki, and Federico Gatti, all getting ready to come on. Keane is going to go down the middle. That front three. So it's going to be Rudiger up the lane and the two centre backs. Juventus, big signing. A lot of clubs after the young Frenchman. Big outlaying money up here. I thought the Frenchman had the eye on Italy, but certainly one for the future. As is this man, Camavinga. Juventus, nice ball. From the goalkeeper, didn't try and catch it, just make sure he got a solid fist on the ball and got it up out of danger, and then he also got distance on the clearance as well, not just the height and distance on the punch from Courtois. Absolutely magnificent goalkeeping, nothing more than you'd expect. Certainly, this is the last thing you want to see, certainly to a young professional like Ake. Only just come on the field of play as well. There as well, wasn't it? The knee slide. It was. And this is the punch as well. You can see